Hi, and welcome to Divinely Empowered with Antonia. Today we have Ivan Teller. Now, Ivan Teller he connects to all different beings from all different places, which sounds quite interesting. Anyone, either relatives who passed or particular species of ETs, archangels, and everything in between. So that's an interesting job, isn't it, Ivan?
Yeah, I just opened. I mean, of course, it's open to interpretation. Some people feel like you can't do Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Some's like, oh, that's not the Sasquatch. That's not how they see it. But everyone has their own interpretation. But that's the thing. I think people are starting to figure out. Everybody has their own interpretation of these beings. You don't always have to go into their personalities and tell you what they want to hear, what they're used to. So it's like a spiritual exploration, you could say. So
yeah, it sounds really interesting. So what do people mostly ask for? Who's the being who's the most popular, or the race that's most popular?
well, it's a higher self or a spirit guide, sometimes an angel. And those that are more comfortable, like if they want to get a straight answer, like instead of sometimes you can get, it can be an alien energy. Like sometimes when you tap into a higher self, it all depends on the relationship a person has with it, because they might not tell you everything you want to hear. So you get connect to an alien energy, like a Palladian, for example, that can cut through a lot of that and just tell you at least give you a better view. But not everybody thinks about asking about that, and they're not always raising their hands to come through. Like when a person chooses like a higher self to come through, that's what comes through. It's just, I leave it up to them usually. Or if they say it's for the highest good, then an alien, if they're open to an alien energy, that can help. It's different for everybody. So yeah, it's a wild west, you can say.
All right, it sounds really fun. So apparently, in my past lives, I've been Octorian, but also Andromedan. So do you get that energy, or is not how it works?
Oh, from you? Yeah. I think you've also had interactions with the Zeta groups. I imagine you know that already, though.
So
Imagine the
who would be
Zetas.
interested? Okay, tell me about the Zetas then.
They're like beings. There's different aspects. Some of them are for the future, like a future version of us. Of course, some of the like a future version of Earth that did not go so well.
Well,
Became
I'm
more.
supposed to have incarnated backwards. I'm supposed to have been from like 200 or 300 years in the future, and I've incarnated backwards, was what my Akashic record said.
Mhm.
So maybe that's the Zeta. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you can have Well, yeah, think of us as humans that have been altered. We lost a lot of our emotions and all of that. Well, as an Andromedan, yeah, you can be from the future, from Andromeda, from Pleiades, or yeah, but you definitely, well, I feel like you did have I think everybody's had an interaction with the Zetas at some point or another. So, but yeah, many do come from the future here to bring enlightenment, as you know, at least a different point of view to help with the awakening. So,
Wow,
yeah.
interesting. Any messages from Zeta for me, or Andromeda, or
Well,
Taurine?
yeah. Well, the Zetas, yeah, they don't have exactly the best track record, but we don't either. So, for abductions, it's usually the Zeta. But then again, Nordic beings have been involved with that, and also reptilians. And it's probably on. Or it goes on and on, probably, but try to keep it up. But as for a message from you from the Zetas, yeah, I guess you keep them in check. But I think you do. Well, I think you have a neutral connection with them. Let's put it that way. I think you're good with them. I feel, at least the ones that are good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, interesting. So it's interesting because we would just before we came on camera, we were just mentioning that you can channel various different beings,
Yeah.
and I have a particular connection with Lord Ashtar. So I'll just tell the story for people who are unfamiliar with this. So I've had a few assassination attempts doing the work that I'm doing. One of them was when I was in my previous house, and in the middle of the night there was suddenly a lot of noise inside of my house, and I could hear the table downstairs get kicked, and then there were boots which were running up the stairs, and then there were lights that my bathroom light went on. I was in the house by myself, and then the light got tripped outside my bedroom door, which is just so it goes off when you go to the bathroom, so you don't have to put the big light on, just like a little a trip light there. And as my cat started hissing and looking scared out of her brain, and I was like, oh shit, this does not look good. This is not safe. And then suddenly out of nowhere, there was a bright light which went through my windows, my blackout blinds, completely illuminated my entire room. And then as far as I could tell, three beings beamed in. Yeah, three beings came into I felt like there was three beings, but then there was a fight. There was like audible smack, like hitting the wall, smash, 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 smash. They were fighting outside my door. I heard a fight, and then the light still stayed on. Yeah, I know. And then the bathroom light had been, because I can set it to do some smart stuff. So if you switch it on and off in quick succession, and it flashes. It was flashing, and then downstairs the table had been kicked over. There had been things moved out, like there was a bowl of cat treats which had been strewn across the floor, and the cat treats were everywhere. My cat wouldn't go near those treats, and my sense of it is that they came to kill me. Like I really strongly felt like they came to kill me. And then one of my psychic friends tuned into it, and then came up with the name Ashtar, Lord Ashtar, and she just spelled it out and never heard of him before, neither had I. And I think Lord Ashtar came to rescue me because it was a assassination attempt. So I feel like I have I think that I'm close to him in some way. I could potentially be part of the Federation with him. So yeah, let's get Ashtar on the phone and ask him what's going on. He saved my life. So I'd like to
that felt like they were there to abduct you. I imagine it was reptilians there. When you say, yeah, what happened? I imagine it was it's always reptilians. They're usually involved with everything practically. Did they ever say who it was trying to do that?
No, I don't know anything more about it. Tell me what you can find out, because it's an interesting.
It feels like it's it's always reptilians. It feels like I guess they feel like you've crossed the line. They always do that. Like so. And you say Ashtar, you mean Ashtar Command, or is this a different Ashtar? Or is this a
Lord Ashtar, the Commander Ashtar.
Ashtar, okay, yeah, because some people, as you probably know online, there's some people like Ashtar Command, other people are really skeptical about that. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, no, I just Ashtar was the name that was channeled through, and then I've kind of felt him around for a while. I think he's guarding me and protecting me quite a lot.
I believe it. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I do. Yeah, there's definitely a good side to Ashtar Command, but a lot of people are so skeptical of that connection. Well, I think they are doing a lot of good here. Yeah, I channeled the Ashtar Command, and the lights start flickering. I channeled at somebody's house. All of a sudden, everything starts flickering. This is very unusual. So yeah, but Ashtar, it just has your, it has your back. Well, you're part of their group, as you know. But for that to happen there, I mean, was that in where you live? Was that in London somewhere?
Yeah, London. Frigging central London.
Well, then again, London has some issues. Doesn't that have a lot of,
I just was surprised that the lights came. I mean, it's not my only. I've had a few ET things. They've tried to assassinate me at least 4 times or abduct me. One of the two.
I think part of it because you're in London too. Of course, I guess.
No, one of them was in London. 2 of them were in London. One of them was in Scotland. Yeah. One of them, and a dark angel came to kill me. They're always trying to get me.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter where you are. But London has a lot of definitely a lot of reptilian energies there.
So can we talk to Ashtar or the command and find out more about it, or can you tune into it yourself?
Yeah, I can tap into it for a little bit. Yeah, we can see what he has to say, and then we can move back to our conversation. Okay, all right. Sure. Just take me a sec to connect. All right, blessings. Green says, "All right, this is Ashtar Command, blessings." Yes, we are part of your, you can say, elite group. But you came here, you can say secretly, but then it became known that you were here. So basically your energy signature was protected. So your enemies weren't aware of you. So, but yeah, as you can see, you're very connected to the galactic commands, and they will do anything, to get your attention, or they just, your enemies they're not shy, as you can see. They do come through portals. Sometimes you might get an indication, but not always. But sometimes you get a feeling of it. Yes, you have any questions?
So what happened that day? Were they trying to abduct me or kill me? What was happening?
Take you off the planet. Not that they could do that, but they were trying to. You had a lot of forces around you. Even angelic beings are there. It's like, this is not going to happen. But yeah, it was practically, it's a house that has to be destroyed, it'll be destroyed. Not that we're trying that, but the beings were really pushing, reptilian alliances. Some of them were Anunnaki. It was a couple of groups together. They were just angry at what you were doing, especially those that you were speaking to before that happened, if you're remembering of that.
So what's my mission?
I think you have an idea. We are doing it now. I think obviously your true mission cannot be fully disclosed, especially publicly. But here is to enlighten others, but also to, strengthen your soul here, but to enlighten others majorly. But to share your life, or inspire others to do what you're doing also. Not that they have to go through there. It's about those that will, learn from you, go about, connect to your energies, bring out their own energies that's similar to yours and do the same type of work. But yeah, you have a lot going on, as you know.
Yeah, the cellular regeneration. Do you know how long it will be before I can do instant healing of all disease? That's the mission.
That was a difficult one. As you can see, there's a lot of barriers around the planet. So it is up to the person. If they want to be healed, you can guide them to do that. But I didn't realize a lot of the illnesses are karmic and connected also, so you can't always heal those. But you can guide the person to discover that side of themselves. It is to fully heal oneself is not too. It can be a long process, but the person has to want to do it too. You're basically guiding them. You open up the door, and it's up for them to, do their side of, the healing process.
Yeah. Anything else that I need to know?
No, that you're on the right track. You are connecting to spirit beings on the other side, as you know, to bring in enlightenment, as you can see. And just continue what you feel is best. And yes, take a break when you need to. As you know, sometimes you kind of, it's good to take.
I don't take breaks. What's that?
Feels like you need it. Well, just realize, your energy can only go so far. Let's put it that way. But you are here to, continue to share your knowledge and for others to, follow your path in their own way, of course. So, any other questions? Or
no, I think I'm good.
Right. Yes. Yes, we are there if you need it. If you need us, so blessings.
Thank you. Like that.
Greetings.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they can only tell us so much. I realize many in the spiritual community want to know all these details, and you can't always tell us everything. It's like we have to figure things out. That's why we're here. We're here to
figure it all out.
Yeah, we're here to figure things out for ourselves, and to it's our journey. So yeah, aliens are here just to, as you know, assist us, just to fill in the gaps where we need it. So they can't, fully pull us out of this.
Do you think they're going to have contact soon, like proper full-on contact with ETs? Do you think they're going to show themselves in a physical way?
I can say little by little hints here and there. Let's put it that way. I mean, I know they're here. I know they want to do something here, but they feel like they have to let us figure things out. So, well, you had your contacts, so take what you
I've
get,
had a few
right?
contacts. I've had a few. They've tried to kill me several times, but it's not been fun.
It's not the kind of contact. Well, that's the thing. Well, that's a good example of like when beings, if they do land here, like on the White House lawn or something. How do you think it's always going to go well? Maybe they'll duke it out with some other beings. It's like they bring their, the good guys show up and the bad guys show, or the Nordic beings can appear as friendly, and then they come to find out they're not so friendly. So there's that too. So be careful what you wish for. It will happen at some time. I'm not sure about our lifetime though, but we are setting a stage for it.
I thought it might happen. What do you think about this this new thing in Peru? They found that body in Peru. Do you think it's a fake, or do you think it's real?
Oh, is that the mummy?
Yeah.
The mummy. I mean, some people feel. I mean, I feel like there's some real. I think it's real, but some people might not believe it. But there are definitely beings like that. Let's put it that way. So it's part of our disclosure, people like it or not. So it's still, I wouldn't doubt it. I believe there are real things here that are like that, though. But it is kind of bizarre. But if it's real or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just it's the new normal. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something better than nothing. Take what you can get. I mean, they had a whole press conference about it, believe it or not.
I know but I mean, it got discovered years ago. I saw a TV series on Gaia about it at least 3 or 5 years ago. I knew about it.
Oh, about that? Oh, so yeah. I believe it's real, but that's the thing. When real aliens show up, if people are going to believe it, that's the thing.
We're all going to think it's CGI.
Exactly. It's like that's the thing about this UFO sightings in the skies and all that. A lot of people don't believe that. Sometimes they're government, sometimes they're not. It's really hard to decipher, especially if it's been re-engineered UFO. You feel the alien energy, but you're not always sure if it's aliens or not. But if it's flying around all like a bug in the sky, it's probably an alien aircraft. I don't think many re-engineered ships do that.
So are many people having face-to-face contact with ETs at the moment?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional. Yeah. Just, I'm not sure how, I mean, when you had yours, I mean, did you actually see the beings? Like
Whoa. And I didn't, and it was really strange because I didn't hear, I mean, I heard the smacking, but I didn't hear like shouts or screams. It was almost like they were muffled, but like that, like they couldn't speak, or the sound of their talking wasn't allowed, like that was muffled in some way. But the sound of the punches, the sound of the falling down the stairs, the sound of being smashed up against a wall, that was all audible.
Yeah, it sounds like the WWF, wrestling.
It was. I mean, you could, but there was, they were outside my bedroom door, and I was like, "What the hell do I do now?"
I wouldn't be. I really don't doubt it. Yeah, I mean, I've had one not like that, but I can't remember everything right now. But I've experienced it. It's funny, I don't remember all. It's not something I think about very often, but it reminds me when I channeled the cone heads. When I started channeling, like the cone heads you see like in Egypt, or the long-headed skulls. I channeled those when I began channeling, and I felt like this, like something was in my house. It was a reptilian being. I felt like, God, I must have made somebody mad. I felt like it was like at my door looking at me. It's like when I was trying to go to sleep. It's like, oh, this isn't good. So in the morning, I opened up the refrigerator door, and the sun was behind me. And I looked at the corner of my eye. I saw a reptilian standing there. Like, it looked like a sumo, or like a reptilian with armor on him, and he was. I remember, going to the kitchen at night and feeling like something was irritated, and then I saw at the corner of my eye, just looking at me. And then I went to a psychic circle, and he went with me. I could feel him irritated, and people there, intuitives, can feel him walking around all irritated. When I told him I can channel aliens, like as interactions, like, yeah, maybe that was what I felt walking around, just kind of tapping his foot, all just. You don't want this disclosure. They don't want to be talked about. They don't want to be. So yeah, I've had interactions like that. So
do you think the bad guys are gone? Because there's a number of the psychic people are saying that there are no more bad guys left on the planet.
If that was the case, people would be hugging each other and kissing each other, and you wouldn't have the news organizations. You wouldn't have half the things. So
because I get psychically attacked. I did this video with Ishmael Perez a couple of weeks ago, and the level of attack was so multifaceted. I was like, there's definitely beings here doing that, because who else is doing it?
Yeah.
Into the AI, it's technical stuff that they're doing. So I don't think the dark side's gone. I think I think maybe the light's winning, and more people are waking up, but there's still a lot of players in positions.
Well, they want to make you think it's one, so they can hijack whoever spiritual teacher there is to bring in false light. And that's a tricky thing about, as you probably know, spiritual community. You can have somebody with a lot of positivity and have a huge following, but there's a dark energy there that's it's just manipulating people. So, and some of these people that have higher frequencies can do that. It's like trickster energy, but not many people are understanding it. So
So tell me more about trickster energy then, and this situation.
Well, even like demonic realms talk about positivity, their version of it being wealthy and all of that. And it's really it's like a soap opera with those guys. And, they feel like if they're like a spiritual teacher that's manipulating their followers, they feel like they're doing the right thing. And they might be giving them false information constantly, but it's similar to like religion, same thing. So.
But I think most people in the limelight have got infiltration, or at least they're attempting to infiltrate. I do think that comes part and parcel largely with people having a large following, because I think that's then pushed towards them. And if you think of it in terms of photons, which are particles of light, when if I've met some very well-known celebrities, and they have looked radiant. I mean, literally like they're glowing and angelic. And then that's because people are looking at them and projecting their photons or particles of light on them. And a lot of these people haven't done very much spiritual work. Some of them have, for sure, but a lot of them, and particularly the one I'm speaking of, is well known to be a little bit crazy. But she looked angelic to me, energetically, on the surface level. But all the photons are being projected towards her, and she's like mirroring the back out of people, so it's looking like she's angelic. Whereas people who are actually more enlightened are glowing, but from the inside out rather than a reflection.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there's a lot of. When you have a huge follower or like a celebrity, of course, some of those celebrities are being used. That's quite especially in the music industry, that's quite like somehow they get their souls hijacked. Yeah, it's very quite fascinating. And the cloning energy, you can feel the cloning energies, like especially the politicians, but you can't always like get a full story of it. It's hard to. In astral, you can clone yourself. Probably you pick up like you have like multiple versions. We have multiple versions of ourselves right now in other realities, so you can easily clone yourself constantly. Think about thinking, we're in the human level. We can only concentrate on this, but think about you have millions of other versions of yourself doing whatever. Even you can have other versions of yourself incarnated here, and like some people can pick up on like have a version of yourself here in Africa, or maybe it was just a fractal, it might be a full incarnation. So yeah, it gets kind of.
So clones wouldn't have a soul then, or how does it work? Or they have part of your soul?
Some can. They can have like we'll use Biden for example. Like they can have like some version of his energy, like a piece of it. Like they can have enough to, as long as they look like Biden, they can. He never really makes any sense anyway. So it's like a perfect person to bring in a clone. However they do that.
Wow.
Because he's already kind of out of it mentally. So if he's out of character, you can get away with it. So
I don't know about that situation. His ears look completely different. You wonder if that's something to do with plastic surgery, or whether that's a mask, or whether that's a certain.
Who knows? Yeah, but they do. They have like body doubles in Iraq and other countries. So I don't see why we can't have body doubles here. So we just never know. Of course, our imagination.
They have them in movies. They have stunt doubles, and and people with a nicer butt than you who are doing like back images of you. Like
like in Iraq, because they're in the Iraq war, because we're allowed, because we have here in the U.S. you have our controlled media just like anybody else. In Iraq war, they said Saddam had body doubles. Of course, even in Russia, with body doubles. They're just not going to say about the U.S. Not to say there isn't any. There has to be. So it's the U.S. It must be something here. So I'm not sure about the monarchy in England. I'm not sure how that works exactly. You never know.
I know. And are they still here? Are they gone? I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tap into those things. They don't want you to get in their business. So, but the energy is there. However it works here, though, it's a mystery.
So. Pretty wild, all this stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did you get into this?
I wasn't looking for it. 2011, I had I went to a tarot card reader through a friend that did hypnosis, and did a hypnosis session about past life. I saw Atlantis. All of a sudden I saw my spirit guides next to me, and it just I saw a female guide, a male guide, And so it kind of got me to realize I can tap into things without using cards. Not that I would get everything accurate. Either way, I can tap into things, let's put it that way. But I didn't know what to do with it. And I got like psychically attacked by dark energy. So I kind of shut down because I had no one to teach me what I'm doing. I had no guidance. So in 2014, I got this feeling like something from the Bible, like a apparition said, you must go and do the spiritual work. Like go do spiritual, become a professional psychic. It's like, okay, thanks, wherever you are. So I looked online and I was guided to a psychic circle that was led by a Native American. And luckily I got the right, because you can get the wrong class. I got the right class, and they did it. They go through everybody. They ask, they tap in to give you a message, and they feel like I can read people. So I kind of advanced through the group. I went to his classes, this intuitive classes to tap into people's. You test with yourself, test and learn how to protect yourself. Learn about crystals. I didn't know anything about crystals before, but I didn't really think this was. I didn't know what else to ask I was asked my mentor about alien energies, and he was like scared of it. And it's like, okay, I was just curious. I wasn't like, too like obsessed with it. I was just curious about how that was. And a lot of drama happened in the psychic circle, so I pulled away from it because you've probably seen that a lot. They're just egos, but either way. And I just didn't feel like I didn't know what to do with all this stuff. So like I wasn't going to go do readings for people about who they're going to meet in the future. It's like I wasn't that interested in that. So I was at work, and then it was quiet, and I got the message of reptilian channeling. It's like, and I got my attention. It's like, oh, why would I ever think about that? It's like David Icke. It's like I never thought about tapping into those. I never thought about tapping into an alien's energy.
Right.
And so I went on YouTube, of course, where everybody goes to get there. You can go to the library, but I don't think you would find that there anyway. but I looked on YouTube. It's like, wow,
right,
it's like
in books. I've written a book, and I,
yeah.
You have to write things that they edit it. Not everything is allowed to be published.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw videos about channeling, people channeling reptilians, aliens. It's like, where have I been this whole time? So I guess it was a time. So I started tapping into their energy, the alien energies, just like you tap into anybody else's energy. So I tapped into the reptilians. Of course, they had a smart remark. It's like, you think you're so smart and all that. So I felt them in my car. It was decent. It was all right. Those only ones. I mean, they're easy to tap into because they're similar to us. And it was just, I knew about them through media and all that. So, but I was kind of guided by my guides. I can do more with it. Like I can bring them through me, but I wasn't really sure how to do that. So I found it took me a couple months to figure it out. I was just tapping into alien energies, tapping into Egypt, and just going by what I'm picking up on. And that's how about crazy, like underground shafts in Egypt. You can't prove any of this stuff, but I wouldn't doubt it's wrong. Like in Iraq, I tapped in some of that underground areas there, which I wouldn't doubt. So the idea was I found
amazing technology in Iraq, aren't they? That's supposed to be
Babylon.
Allegedly, that some of the wars were based on the West wanted to go and get the technology from Iraq because it had amazing, like very, very advanced stuff from the past, which is more advanced than the now.
Yeah, from Babylon or Anunnaki, whoever. Yeah, definitely underground. Yeah, we'll never. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It wasn't about oil. Maybe it was, but there's other things there, and I think they're still there too. There's other things they're just trying to figure things out there. But yeah, I was guided to, seeing how other people bring the beings through themselves. So I found an audio tape of how to, they talk you how to do it. So I just listened to it, and I tried to bring in an angel, and I felt the energy field around me where I couldn't get through it. So I channeled my spirit guide, and he came through, and then I just channeled a Zeta Gray after that. It's like I was off for the races when I started. And I figured I need to put this on YouTube also. It's like, came out of nowhere. It's like, I feel like people need to know about this. You might think I'm crazy, right? But I just felt, and I need to show myself too. It was really weird. It's like out of character for me. It's like, I need to put this out there. And I shared one of my channelings with another channeling group, and I that's what started the webinar. So the webinar is really what kind of grew everything. So I did like 7 webinars a week, went to 6, went to 5. Now I'm at 1 a week. It's kind of exhausting. But
so what happens in your webinars?
I just channel a different being. I channel 2 different beings for messages, and the third being is the one that answers questions. Usually it's an alien energies. In the beginning, I just channel an alien being and answer everybody's questions, wherever it might be, and I'll let that being go, bring in another one, and we'll answer questions with that being, and go on for 3 or 4 hours, which is not recommended. That was in the beginning, though. So
That's
so
exhausting.
I channeled Anunnaki. That was an interesting one because you didn't really hear about them very, not channeled.
Are they bad guys, do we think, or are they good guys?
Some of them are, just like anything else. Some of them are good, some are bad, some are. I think they're like almost like.
Do we think, or do we think that we're older than them?
That's it. I never thought about that. I think, I don't know, I would say we're about the same age, I guess. It's hard to say.
We're supposed to be made by them, aren't we? We're supposed to be the guys.
Well, they
like lab, I don't know.
They're like part of our DNA.
You should know these answers. Are they not?
There's different. There's different points of view.
Okay, tell us.
So, well, if you're an Anunnaki being, of course, you're going to say like they're the father of humanity, or any Zeus did the same thing. So, no, we come from other races. We come from other, like Elohim. We come from other humanoid races, and I think we've been troublemakers on other worlds too.
Are Elohim angels then? Because the Elohim are mentioned in the Bible, they're basically angels, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're also humanoid. Some of them are humanoid, so they're part of our. Yeah, we have like 7 or 12 different versions of human that we're connected to, not adding to the reptilian, Zeta.
But is this why we've got so many different races and colored skins and that sort of stuff? It's because we're seeded in from different planets, or how do you think that works?
Yeah, we have like 34. Like I say, everybody has their own version of this, like 34 different strands of DNA. I mean, you can, and then somebody says 36 or it's 37. It's like, everybody's right. How about that? But everyone's different too. So all of us have our own. We all have our own genetic makeup. So it's not one size fits all. But I don't think the Anunnaki is the ones that fathered us. I mean, anybody can say that. But we do have a lot of feline connected to us. Basically, it's to keep our sanity through all this, to help us do some kind of spiritual aspect. But of course, some people have a canine aspect, like those that are very talkative to. Usually, I believe a lot of canines are just like to talk to everybody. Of course, you can also look at other like bird beings, like talking to people, like ducks, and all. Ducks are like part of the comedy energy. Like some comedians might look like a duck being, because they're always kind of goofy beings.
That's fun. So do you think the solar flash has happened or will be happening at some point? What do you feel about the solar flash? A lot of people are saying that it's coming, or do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I know about it. I mean, there's going to be some kind of solar flash. I don't think it's going to be the one that's going to raise our to higher dimensions. I mean, they've been saying the end of the world, or aliens are going to come, or Jesus is going to come back. So now we have the solar flash. It's going to change everything. So it's like, So
you don't think everyone's just suddenly going to end up with loads of superpowers overnight? Solar flash happens, the aurora borealis all over the planet, and then suddenly we all get superpowers.
You can have that if you leave the world, if you die. Like that thing, and if you really like what happened in Libya, like all these people died. They probably went somewhere that was, some of them went to higher dimension. But no, I think here we have too much here to repair. There's too much here. I don't think it doesn't change right away. I mean, and you can catch a rowdy.
I don't think our bodies would maintain it. I don't know, just from the evolutionary work that I've been doing over the last 20 years, like there's a lot of growing pains in your physical body. The density of your physical body needs to be changed. And if you did it, I mean, I think it's getting softer and easier, but it's got to be changing the cells in your body on a physical level to be able to embody the sort of work. And I don't know that people's bodies would be able to physically handle it in an instant. I just don't think it's a possibility.
You can have a solar flash, and a lot of people will cross over that day. That's one way of doing it. And you can leave your body, and you can change to whatever you want. So there's that way. But
and that is a worry about the solar flash. Are there just going to be bodies in the street? Are we going to be walking down the street and it's going to look like Armageddon? Because why are all these dead bodies there?
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know, but I mean, I'm not seeing.
But then they'll vanish, and there'll be this, the harvest. suddenly you'll be standing there, you'll be in the supermarket and go, where did everyone go?
Yeah, but then again, you have those people that talk about the whole left behind thing. It's like those people didn't believe in God or Jesus, and everyone else is, I guess we're all just left behind, I guess. So, everyone has their own version of where things are going. So whatever works. But that doesn't mean they have not experienced that other realities. Like the apocalypse and stuff like that. So I think some people here have experienced, that's why they're so terrified of it. Forever. They think that we're in the end of times, and some world versions of Earth have ended and they came here. Right. Which is kind of crazy. Think about that. Like, think about and you actually have memory of being on another planet. All of a sudden, you're here. Wow. So, I've connected with a couple of people that felt they've been to other versions of Earth, and then it ended. Whatever happened, and they found themselves here somehow, like as a walk-in or whatever it might be. So, wow. Yeah, that's pretty out there.
So where do walk-ins come from then?
Well, alien beings, spirit beings, whatever. Yeah, like you say, like you have just had a child, and that soul wanted to experience that birthing experience, and it depends on the agreement, and they can switch out with another version of themselves, or someone's completely different. Like, wow, this is a light angel child, and all of a sudden, it's a devil child. It all depends. It all depends on, or it could be a spirit, or the walking could be a real spiritual being, just couldn't handle the birthing process and all that in 9 months. So,
well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But they're normally, but to actually have a walk-in, it's normally like a near-death experience, isn't it? That they switch out, or can it happen?
Yeah, it can happen anytime for sure. Yeah, it can happen anytime actually. Especially when you see somebody that's completely different, or there might be a cloning happen, because it's like Howard Stern changed all of a sudden. That could be a walk-in. Yeah, especially like Howard Stern. He's like you're like two different people now. It's like Howard Stern is a good example. It's like he's looking at his past self. It's like, I don't know who that guy is. That could be just a whole nother soul. Just like, that's one example of a walk-in or some kind of cloning or whatever might happen there. So
that's pretty cool.
So
for people watching, so how do people contact their spirit guides, or is there any tips around this sort of stuff that people can practice things at home?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, spirit guides do talk to you through your thoughts, as you know. So it's a little hard they're always talking to us, but just not always picking up. Like you forget something, like all of a sudden remember to get something from home, or that's them, like you completely left your mind, like you've lost your keys or whatever it might be. And then you get a sense of, well, wait, I just forgot my keys, didn't I? You just get a mental. So that's one way how the guides talk to you. Other way, you just do a meditation, clear out your energies. You can have a candle on, and just could have a candle lit or some kind of protection, and you just ask your guides to. Yeah, there's obviously meditations online where they walk you through it, but another way, just you can visualize like a meadow, or some kind of green grass, whatever it might be, and ask your guides to appear to you, and hopefully it's them and not somebody else saying that they are. That's another difficult one. It does happen. So yeah, it's good to like put light through them to make sure it is them, because if it's some trickster being, it can be cleared out. So yeah, it's when you open yourself up, you gotta. This is why I shut myself down in the past. Like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
It can be scary.
Yes.
And it's interesting with me, because my knowing is really good and my abilities are really good, but my sight isn't super clear. I'm more macro than micro. And I wonder if that's because if I saw everything, it would be quite intimidating. And if I'm going in big and hard, like I am. So I'm always battling, and I'm always doing things on a big level. And probably if I knew more or saw more, it would be quite daunting. I agree. More.
I feel things here and there, but I'd rather just not see them all the time. That's just too distracting. But some people do see them all the time.
What happens? Can you see beings around people the whole time, or what's your sort of life experience?
I can pick up I can pick up who's around if they're allowing themselves to be picked up. But I can tap into it. Sometimes I might see them.
You're like in the supermarket, and then you've got like the normal people, and you've got like ghostly people behind, and just seeing like crowds everywhere. Or does it not work like that?
I don't. It can. I don't do that, but I can tap into that. That kind of wears yourself. It wears me out. I don't think about it. I just go get my stuff and get out of there. But if I was tapping into, I'd be there all day probably.
It's just like the movie Ghost, wouldn't it? When we go back there, and it's like, shut up, everyone?
Yeah, then you get guys, like at the supermarkets. I don't know why he's buying that thing. Why is he doing that? He's not listening to me, or whatever it might be. So
Yeah, that sounds like a pain.
but
What are
there's,
my spirit guides? Can you see any? And who are my spirit guides at the moment?
like you said, there's an Andromedan energy. There's an Andromedan council,
Oh,
as
yeah.
you probably know. You're probably here on a quest, as you know, on a I guess you already know life or death quest, as you know. It's like obviously you knew about the consequences, or you know what you're going to get into.
I'm willing to die for the mission. I've always
Yeah.
been willing to die for the mission. That's been part of it.
Yeah, I think we have golden beings there too. Arturian energies that are, you just have a lot of help. Like at least I feel like 24 guides are around you, probably more, but I feel like 24 right now. And I'm gonna identify. Yeah, they have a bird being too. I mean, I think you have a couple of those, but is there like a phoenix is around you? I don't know if that comes to mind. Yeah.
And have they all got different roles? Are they there to protect me, or to guide me, or to talk to me? What are they doing?
Just helping make the right decisions and keep out false energies, as you know. Unless there's a false energy you need to understand or know about, or whatever, however that goes. But yeah, just to keep you on your track. It's like after that attack you went through, they gave you more guides to protect you, because I don't think they saw that coming, or they might have. They don't always see everything, but they've been giving you more.
Surprise. It was a surprise, and that was not the first time. But that really did feel like they were. I mean, maybe they were coming to abduct me, or kill me. But I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I felt like deadly intent. I felt deadly intent for sure.
Oh yeah. It does feel like some of your guides were not aware it was going to happen. Let's put it that way. It feels like it caught some of them a surprise, which is kind of weird there, but yeah,
it was. And I went and checked everything around the house and checked the doors and the windows, because then you're like, well, because I was sitting there going, do I call the police? And I went, this is not real people. And what do you do? This is not physical people. And I was like sitting there like, do I call them? Do I not? Like, there's an intruder. I mean, what actually they're going to be able to do? And then I checked my doors and windows, and everything was closed. They teleported. And what actually do you do against a teleportation attack? Well, I mean, you have to just have some superpowers to deal with them.
Yeah.
Come help you out.
You call in the paranormal people, but they probably can't do anything because they're all gone now. So, there's nothing really to talk to. You might feel the residue of some of it, like the portal they came through. They might pick up on that. Those people, the ghost hunters that walk around with all that like sonar equipment, they might be able to pick up on something possibly, but who knows?
Well, not if I've been abducted and I've been taken to a reptilian planet. See you later, alligator.
Yeah, does that do and try to kill you somewhere else or kill you here? I don't think they can kill. I mean, they tried to, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can do it though.
I had another experience, which was quite. Maybe you know about this one because it's quite another interesting one. So I was in Scotland, and I was in a house, and we'd been working on doing a version of homeopathy called vibrational medicine, which is really taxing on the body. I was exhausted, and I went to sleep, and then there was a light through the window. So the light, I was on the in England you say the first story, but if you second story, like the one above the ground level, the level above ground, and there was this light that was the complete width of the window, and it was about 2 meters long, 2 or maybe even 3 meters long, and 1 meter high. And if it was coming from the ground, then it would have been darker here and darker here. But like for it to be a block of solid light, they need to be parallel. That's how light refraction works. And it was parallel. The whole of the window was blocked out. And I went, and it kept on. I woke up with this light, and then I moved, and it clicked off it, and it clicked off, and it kept on coming on and off. And I went to the bathroom, and it went on and it went off. And I was so tired. I was like, do I go downstairs and have a look? What do I do? And I didn't really know what to do. And then I was like, do I take a picture? And I was just, I'm just so tired. I went back to sleep. And I woke up after about maybe the 5th or 6th time that it happened. And I had my arms outstretched. And it was a bit like, I just liken it to Storm from the X-Men, because this beam, this energy came out of me. It was about this thick. It was bigger than my head, thickness, and it went 360 degrees, like this really big wave of energy, 360 degrees, and it was like that. And then it hit something, and it bounced over. It hit something, and there was a and then a falling over. And then I ran and turned the light on. There was nothing in the room, but my friends in the next door room, obviously a being with claws, had been sitting on the chair because they had their arms, and there was scratch marks down the arms. So it's physical evidence of it. What was that?
Yeah, that was yeah, that's, I mean, it feels like you also have an energy that you go into other, do you feel like you're in other realities all the time? Is that,
I don't live in this. I don't live on this planet a lot of the time.
yeah.
I'm multidimensional, and I spend a lot of time like in a trance or doing something else somewhere else.
Yeah, because it feels like they come through so you're already, like when you're at home, you're in this other, like you're here physically, but you're somewhere else. So they come in, that's how that's what I'm feeling. They come in through your energy somehow, because they see you in their reality. So then they try to start some stuff and tell you who's boss, basically. I think that's what that was about. Just yeah, to get your attention.
Yeah, but then I showed them who the boss was, because I scared the absolute Jesus out of them by just going. I was asleep and I woke up and this energy was going like, and it was a deadly thing. That was definitely like.
Yeah, they're trying to do the same thing again, basically. Yeah, they're trying to do the same.
Was that the reptilians again?
It feels like, yeah, archon energies, yeah, just like devil type energies, yeah, just creatures, monsters, yeah, just I feel like they're trying to beat you, obviously, right? Just trying to show you who's boss.
And I keep showing them who's boss.
Yeah, they have to try anyway. They know that even if they know they're going to fail, they have to do it anyway, just for whatever reason.
So this is going to be an ongoing thing. They're going to keep coming for me, probably.
Hopefully not, but it seems like water is your safety. I don't know if we were around any water.
I live by the sea. I moved to the ocean.
Okay, so have you had anything since then, or no?
A dark angel came to get me a few weeks ago.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, water does help. Why can't you?
I have a sea view. I live next to the coast. I'm right by the sea.
Yeah, because the water seems to be definitely a protector there. But of course, these beings can come to the water too. But it seems like still, it's your Syrian energy can tap into it. But yeah, they're just like I said, they see you in their realm. So I don't think they always realize.
When I'm asleep, they're always coming for me when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, it feels like they don't always realize that you're here in the physical realm either. Because you're in the physical, that's how you can stop them, because they can't stop that. Like if you're just an astral being, they could probably, you'll be the one fighting them. But because you're here in the physical, you have a strength over them. You can kick them out. So that's one of the advantages of being here as a physical being. They can attack us and try stuff, but we can still overpower them. Let's put it that way, because we're physical here. Now, if you're astral, you'll be the one throwing them everywhere. So.
Yeah, at least I create a lot of weapons. I'm always at war. And it's because I know I'm always going for things. I'm seeing all these dark energies, and I'm always battling and working for God and doing these massive things and taking down really, really big targets constantly is what I'm doing. So I'm not surprised there's going to be some repercussions. It's part of the job.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the people you might interview also that might call in these, just like, why are you talking to that person? Then you get an attack that has something to do with that too. There's a little bit of everything there to just, I guess it's going to be it's not being clear if it's going to be ongoing, but probably to some level, unfortunately.
Well, the thing is, look, the new stuff I'm doing is energetic cellular regeneration, which is reverse aging, which is not something the dark side are wanting people to do, because they want to feed on us, and I'm potentially it's going to bring down a lot of industries, a lot. The work that I'm doing is potentially world changing. So there's billions and billions and trillions of dollars that are invested in products and services which do this same thing to a lesser extent. So I'm a threat in every level. Yeah,
there's going to be some retaliation in anything you can say, but just obviously they're a target. But we're also astrally, like you say. I think people get attacks too, but they're just not. They're more grounded here physically, so they're not always aware of what's happening. So, but you're not here half the time, so of course you're going to see some of it. You're between worlds, so you get the front row seat. So, but I think we all, not everybody, but quite a few get visits that are not, sometimes better they're just not aware of, as you probably know. So do you want to know? So
It's a wild world. I don't know if I want to know everything that goes on, because I don't know. It'd be a lot to process, because
yeah,
I'm very multidimensional.
just focus on what you need to focus on here. Yeah, it's always multi dimensions, and then that's the thing. They want you to, some people, to focus on other dimensions and not this one. That's another manipulation. It's like, oh, I'm always connected to the secret space program or something. Some can really obsessed with it, but it's also there to be healed. And they're not always seeing it that way. They see it as an adventure and seeing more of themselves there, but it really needs to be healed so they can focus on this life. But
there's a lot to do. There's a lot of problems here that need to be dealt with. So, you know.
Yeah. So more people are opening up to all of this, but there's still a lot of, as you know, a lot of trying to figure things out. It's not as easy as they think it is. So, as you know, with all your visits, it's almost like you sell tickets to that. It's like, oh, they're going to be here next couple of nights,
Yeah, I'd like the friendly ones to come and hang out. Really, that would be nice.
They're probably there. It's just they're quieter, and it just, when the ones that come, the ruckus ones, it's good. The quiet's good, but that's when the good ones are there. But then when the party, the other guys show up, to end the party. So, that just shows. I mean, like I say, they have, like,
it's a badge of honor that they're trying to get me. I'm wearing the badge of honor that I'm worth assassinating.
Well, yeah, if they can take you down, that's good. Then they can brag about it forever. So that's why they do it.
They're doing it for bragging rights. Well,
that's part of it. It's kind of messed up, but I think it's part of it too.
Yeah, but I do a lot of slaying of a lot of different multidimensional beings as well. So and I do offer them lead or gold, and it's like, if you you need to cease and desist your negative work on whomever it is, otherwise you get you know. But mostly I'm a divine travel agent, which I think is the right way to be doing it. And I build universes and dimensions for these different beings to go. And I say, here, I will free you from your servitude. Many of them are slaves from higher dimensional beings and worse ones. So I offer them, I build them literally Disneyland, like with unlimited food, and which isn't like the bad stuff they're taking off other people's emotional energy. But I offer them paradise, or I offer them death. So they tend to take paradise, and some of them do take death, and then then I ruffle feathers, and then more stuff happens.
Nice.
But so interesting. Okay, so people can get hold of you on ivanteller.com. If anyone wants a reading or to be joining your weekly seminars. What else? Any words to close that you would like to say to our lovely listeners?
Oh, yeah, they can find me on YouTube also. Just look up, search Ivan Teller, or search Ivan Teller. Yeah. And of course, the website. For the spiritual journey, one step at a time. Energy protection, learn how to ground and protect themselves. Those that are trying to figure all this out, there's no rush. It's not good to look for fame and fortune as some might be looking for. I know some of that's out there. But just do it for yourself. You want to do this work and save others. Well, someone want to do this and help others, or sometimes you need to help yourself first. So that's the first place to start.
It's interesting that a lot of people have, there's a lot of new people, and it's become quite trendy. When I got involved in this, nearly 20 years ago, it was all very weird. Now it's quite mainstream. And I think that people who haven't done the work are now teaching. And I think that that's quite scary.
Yeah. It's a learning. It's all a learning process. So that's all good. So, okay. Right. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for being here.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Blessings.